Hey guys, what's going on? This is Francois with the Image Eye. So I know I just did a video about how the A7 IV is the perfect hybrid camera. And yes, I love my A7 IV so much. I mean, I take it with me just about everywhere I go. However, these days, as you know, I'm still contemplating about the Sony ZV-E1 because I think it will fit perfectly for my main channel where I go around Korea and I vlog about food or travel. Actually, yesterday going to the camera store, I was in the camera store. I was just thinking about the Sony ZV-E1. I don't know, like me as a photographer, like the most important thing is being able to take photos. Going over my thoughts about whether I should get the Sony ZV-E1 or not, because I did tell you I would get it if I had like 300 subscribers, but that was like a while ago and I didn't reach the goal. So now I don't feel beholden to that promise. As a photographer, it would be best if I had a mechanical shutter. I came home and I started to look at all my equipment, looked at this camera here, which is the A7S III. The reason why I bought it is because I really wanted it as like a gift to myself after I finished my doctorate degree. My doctorate degree finished, I bought the camera and I only use it sparingly on the inside. I don't really take it out of the house all too much because it's very expensive. Yeah, yesterday I was outside, or before I went outside, I wanted to decide on which camera I should take. Should I take the A7 IV, which I usually do, or should I take the A7S III? I decided to take the A7S III because I don't use it outside very often. And I just wanted to give it a try, see what happens. Yeah, I was walking around with the camera. It was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was so bright outside. I didn't have any ND filters with me. Yeah, I didn't have any ND filters. It was very bright outside. So I just, I turned to my A7S III and I'm like, okay, it's time for you to take photos. It's hot outside, but I really loved to take photos with this camera. And yesterday just made me realize, like, wow, this is a good photo camera. One reason why I like to take photos with the A7S III when I first got it is because I could bring the ISO level all the way down to 40 when I was taking photos. When I switched the ISO yesterday to 40, it just made me like fall in love with this camera all over again. Reducing the ISO doesn't take away from, needing, or it doesn't replace needing an ND filter, but just to be able to bring the camera light down, or the sensitivity of the amount of light that the camera collects, it was pretty cool. It means that I didn't need to worry so much about having an ND filter. Do I really need the Sony ZV-E1 if it doesn't have a mechanical shutter? Because as a photographer, we need that. I can't underestimate how important it is to just hear the mechanical shutter. It doesn't mean that the photo is going to be good, but it kind of gives me a reassurance that, okay, I heard the mechanical shutter go off. That means that the photo has been taken and it's locked into my SD card. Having the sound of the mechanical shutter is so reassuring. So I was thinking like, yo, the Sony ZV-E1 doesn't have a mechanical shutter, even though I'm sure it takes amazing photos since it has the same sensor as the A7S III. But I think I would much prefer to have a mechanical shutter rather than not having one at all. So I considered picking up the Sony A7C. And no, I didn't buy it. So Sky, I know you're watching this video. I didn't buy another camera body, don't worry. Brian, I didn't buy another body. I know you're looking at this video too, don't worry. I tested the A7C and I remember having a conversation with Sky about the A7C when he was thinking about picking up another body, and he tested it out for a bit and he says that he didn't really like the A7C. Yesterday when I tested it out, or 2 days ago when I tested out the A7C, it was perfect for me. It was small, it was, compact. Small goes with compact. And it has a mechanical shutter. I threw on the 24mm Sony G Master and I walked around and I vlogged a bit inside of the camera store, and it was perfect for my needs. So I wonder, like, should I just wait and skip out on the Sony ZV-E1 and pick up the Sony A7C Mark II when it comes out? Or should I just pick up an A7C? Because I already have cameras that shoot 10-bit. Do I really need 10-bit for those videos? Like, yeah, I can actually vlog with my GoPro, but I'm just so used to having higher quality now. This A7S III is maybe the true hybrid king. Sorry, A7 IV. I mean, I love you. I really love you so much, but I say this loosely. I'm gonna start taking this camera around with me more often, but not everywhere because it's still quite expensive. Anyways, yeah, that's my rant. I think the A7S III for me is still the true hybrid king. So sorry, A7 IV, you can be number 2. And number 2 isn't a bad spot. It's not a bad spot at all. And yeah, this video was shot on the Sony FX30 with a 14mm G Master, which is also quickly becoming one of my favorite lenses, and we'll talk about that later. Anyways, have a wonderful day. Love you all. Take care. Peace.